Hi, welcome. So, in the last class, we have completed the carbohydrates, right? So, the carbohydrates of type monosaccharide. In monosaccharide, we have studied about the glucose and fructose. In disaccharide, maltose, lactose, and sucrose. And in the yesterday's class, we have studied about the polysaccharide, cellulose, glycogen, right? So, So now we will see some of the important character of these carbohydrates. So importance of or biological importance of carbohydrate one we can say importance of carbohydrates. So till now when we came to know that the carbohydrates are very essential part of our body. So right most of I mean the whole body, I mean, our body is made up of with carbohydrates, one we can say. Not made up of, but it consists a more percent as a carbohydrate, right? So we will see the points one by one. So coming to the first point, carbohydrates are essential for life, not only for the plants as well as for the animals like us, right? So, carbohydrates are essential. Carbohydrates are essential for both plants and animals, right? So, these are very important, right? So, they are very helpful for not only the plants, they animals also, and most of the part portion of our body is consist of what carbohydrates. That means not only it is essential for plant as well as for the animals also. Why? Because it provides a very good protein for us, right? So that's why the carbohydrates are essential, we say, not only for plant as well as for the animal. So this is the first important one we can say. So honey has been used for a long time. So that means honey has been used for long time as an instant source of what energy or carbohydrate. Honey has been used for long time, used for long time as a instant source of energy, instant source of energy, or else for carbohydrate one we can say, right? So sweet sugars are present, right, in the honey. So honey is the best source to get an instant carbohydrate, or a carbohydrate is nothing but it provides our energy for our body, right? So it is an instant source. So that means if you have the honey, instantly we will get the what so energy, right? It is a very fast thing, right? And next thing is third point is, see here, these carbohydrates are used as storage for food, right? Yesterday only we saw polysaccharides like starch and glycogen, right? These are used as a storage material. These are used as these are used as storage material, starch in plant and glycogen in animals, right? Remember these 2 points. These are important for your bio as well as for chemistry also, right? So, which is the storage material present in plant, or which is the storage material present in animal as a carbohydrate means glycogen present in what storage material as a storage material, which is a carbohydrate itself, which is a storage material in acts as a storage material in animal, and starch acts as a storage material in what plants, right? So cell wall of bacteria, and you already know this point, right? Cell wall of bacteria, wall of bacteria, and cell wall of bacteria and plant, right? Cell wall of bacteria and plant made up with cellulose, right? Correct. So the cell wall of bacteria as well as plant is made up of with what? Cellulose, and cellulose is a carbohydrate. Right. So these are the main important biological importance of carbohydrate, one we can say. And generally if we see the again the different importance of this is nothing but they provide a new material for industries like textile industry, like paper industry, like breweries industry. That means the place where beer is commercially made, brewery, right? So in right offline classes, I will go in detail. So you just remember, not only they biologically help us, but they provide a new material for the textile industries, for the paper industry, for the breweries, and for the coating of woods, coating for woods, right? So these are the some commercial uses where we use these carbohydrates, right? So these are the some important things. Say they are essential for not only for the animal as well as for the plants. And honey is instant source of what? Carbohydrate, one we can say, and which provides, that means the carbohydrate ultimately provides what? Energy. And the cell wall of plant as well as what bacteria is made up of with cellulose, and these are used as a storage material, like in a plant as a starch and in animal as a glycogen. And not only these important, they have again the important in the commercial uses also. So they provide the new material for the textile industry, paper industry, as well as breweries, and for the coating of woods, right? So these are the some importance of what are carbohydrate. So next is very important part of this chapter, that is that means this thing is very essential for us. That is nothing but what? Denaturation of protein. So this question has been asked one or twice in your examination. Denaturation of protein, right? So protein is the important part. You already know about the protein, right? So pro means before, that means priority is first. That means that is nothing but the protein. So protein only strengthens, protein leads for the proper growth, and protein gives us a energy. I mean, without the protein, one we cannot be like a perfect animal, right? So protein provides everything for us, right? In among those, the some of the proteins are essential, some of the non-essential, which are made in our like amino acids, right? So some of among the 21 amino acids only lead to the what formation of a protein finally. So that means these proteins, some of the proteins may be essential, some of the proteins may not be essential. That means essential means for those amino acids we require a diet. That means or else plant source, animal source we require. And non-essential means one we can prepare, our body is itself preparing those amino acids, those are called as non-essential amino acids, right? So now D means remove. So protein is just like an enzyme, right? I mean, for the conditions. So protein requires a proper temperature, I mean standard temperature and standard pH, right? To survive. Very important, right? Temperature and pH plays a very important role. So I will not mention any, why? Because I am not taking any particular protein. So therefore, one we just go generally. So that means to be active protein in our body, we must provide essential temperature as well as the pH, right? So see here, when a person consumes alcohol, definitely what happens? Our temperature as well as pH alters, right? Then what happens? Enzymes may die. So in same way, if we see here, to denaturate the protein, right? What we need to do? I mean, temperature and pH. If we alter, say for example, for a particular protein, we require 6.5 pH and temperature is around 27 degree, right? So just take an example. So if I alter the temperature 27 into 36 and 6.5 into 7.5, what happens? Definitely the change will take place. That means a particular protein is survive in this condition. That means in this condition. But what we are doing, we are giving a more thing. That means its biological activity will be changed, right? So what are the first at this temperature? What is the I mean biological activity? That activity will be changed by what? By altering our temperature or pH. That process is nothing but what? Denaturation of protein. D is nothing but, you already know in the chemistry, D is nothing but remove, right? So if we change, so protein loses its biological activity by changing temperature and pH. That process is called as denaturation. I repeat, protein loses its biological activity by changing its temperature and pH. This process is called as denaturation of protein, right? This question have been asked in the last examinations, I mean previous examinations. So later we will see the classification of protein. So classification of classification of protein. So protein generally can be classified into two categories. First one, directly we will go with the fibrous protein. So fibrous protein and globular protein, right? So these are like a polypeptide chain. So they looks like a polypeptide chain. Polypeptide chain is nothing but like this. So I will just show you. So later there will be R and there will be that means hydrocarbon chain. So this particular part is called as what? Poly means many number of chains are there. That means this type of formation is called as polypeptide or peptide. Poly, you don't have poly because it is a single peptide, you can say. If there are more in number, then we add a poly, right? So peptide chain. So they looks like what? Polypeptide chain and held together by a hydrogen bond. So held together by a hydrogen bond, such proteins are called as fibrous proteins. They looks like what? Polypeptide chain and held together by a hydrogen bond. So not this. That means before it will be like this, right? COOH plus this is the other protein part. NH NH plus H like this. So now the water molecule will be removed. So if we are removing water molecule means what happens? there will be a formation of what? Hydrogen bonding. So that means they held together by a hydrogen bonding. After removing this, we will get this compound. After removing the water molecule, because of formation of hydrogen bonding, what happens? This type of chain will be occur. It looks like a polypeptide chain held together by hydrogen bonds are called as what? Fibrous protein. And you already know examples are very important. So for fibrous protein, keratin is the best example, which is present in hairs. Keratin, which is present in where? Hair. And one more is myoglobin, right? Correct? Myoglobin, myoglobin, and which is present in muscle, if I'm not wrong. So you are biology students, you already know keratin is present in hair and myoglobin is present in where? Muscle, right? So these are the two best examples of fibrous protein. Fibrous proteins looks like a polypeptide chain which is held together by a what? Hydrogen bonding, and the examples are keratin as well as the myoglobin. So this is the fibrous protein, and later one more is globular protein. So second one, globular protein. So globular protein is nothing but what? These are spherical in shape. So these are spherical in shape. These are spherical in shape, and the example will be hemoglobin, right? Example will be hemoglobin, and one more is insulin, right? One more example is insulin. So insulin is very important right here. So globular are nothing but they are be like this globules like structure. They might be having, and again they are also having a hydrogen bonding itself. But these are they looks like a spherical shape, and the examples are hemoglobin as well as the insulin. So dear student, this is all about today's class. During the next class, we will see some more other part of this chapter. Right? Thank you.